Hey guys, it's your girl Patricia. Welcome back to my channel. As you guys can see from the title, today we are back with a very serious topic. I'm going to be telling you guys how to make it out of your surgery alive. This is going to be a BBL safety precaution video. I'm also going to be giving you guys some red and green flags to look out for when it comes to choosing a doctor, choosing a surgery clinic, getting a BBL, recovery, just everything that you guys need to know. So make sure you guys are watching this entire video from start to finish, because I may just say a tip that may save your life or someone else's life that you know. So watch the entire video. And the reason why I decided to do this video is I couldn't share my entire BBL journey with you guys and, talk about recovery, talk about everything that you guys need to know without doing a safety precaution video, because I don't want anything to happen to any of you guys out there. So I'm like, you know what? This video needs to be done. On top of that, I'm not making this video to try to talk anyone out of getting surgery, because I don't want to be fake. Like, personally, as you guys know, I did get a BBL, and for me that was one of the best things I've done for myself. And so I will never try to tell someone not to do it. I just want you guys to go about it in the safest way possible, just like how I took the best of my ability, went about it in the safest way possible. And so we want to make it out alive, and so this is the video that you want to watch. When I documented my BBL journey and you guys saw that, I obviously got a lot of negative comments. Not a lot. I don't want to sit here and say I got a lot, because it wasn't a lot, but I did get some negative comments, and people were like, oh my gosh, like, dangerous surgery in the world. Why would you risk like death? And yes, don't get me wrong, there are women that have died, but I had to make sure that I did my research and looked at what doctors said and everything like that. And this is what Google says: performed correctly by a highly qualified plastic surgeon, the Brazilian butt lift is a safe and effective procedure. I'm going to read that again for you guys. According to Google, performed correctly by a highly qualified plastic surgeon, the Brazilian butt lift is a safe and effective procedure. Then I have a quote that I wrote down from a doctor, and I found this quote from a YouTube channel called Dr. Mike's Clips, and this is a board certified doctor that said, I don't think a BBL is an unsafe surgery. I just think there are unsafe ways to perform it. And so this is going to be my number one point. BBL safety precaution, how to make it out your surgery alive. Please, when you are preparing for a BBL and you're doing research on a doctor, go to a board certified doctor. Oh my gosh, like, I know I might get emotional during this video, but please, you guys, please do research on the doctors that you are going to, because you are literally placing your life in their hands. There's so many times I've just, heard about women going to doctors that had debts. And don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to throw shade or anything, but I personally wouldn't go to a doctor if he had a debt. There are actually some really good doctors in Miami that I was, before I found out that they had debts, I love their work. But after doing my research, I'm like, I just couldn't, I would feel uneasy. Don't get me wrong. These doctors are still popular. They're still doing BBLs every day. But once I see that you had a death, I'm like, I just couldn't personally go through with it. And so to me, that would be number one on my list. Go to a board certified doctor. To do my research, I just saw that a lot of the women that passed away from a BBL is because of a fat embolism. And what that is fat got injected into an artery. And to prevent that, I feel like it's very important to ask your doctor, where do they inject the fat? Because after doing research and, knowing this for a while, when you inject fat below the muscle, that is when the mortality rate goes up. Your chances of getting a fat embolism increases. So it's very important for you to go to a skilled surgeon that knows how to do BBLs, does BBLs a lot, and knows to inject the fat above the muscle. There are many doctors out here that are still injecting fat below. A lot of women that go out the country for BBLs, their butts and their bodies always look more dramatic. And after doing my research, is because a lot of the doctors still are injecting below the muscle. And that's why some girls will say, oh, well, I was able to sit on my butt right after getting a BBL and my butt still stayed big. It's because The doctors injected the fat below the muscle. And so the reason why some doctors will prefer to inject the fat below the muscle is because you can sit right after. You don't have to worry about the fat dying or losing your butt because it's literally deep inside below the muscle. But that comes with a cost because it's very more riskier. So please, if you can ask your doctor would they inject the fat, that will be very, very, very important. Try to ask the coordinator. Do not go to anybody that is still injecting fat below the muscle because that is very dangerous. All it takes is for them to hit a artery. In an instant, you can get a fat embolism and pass away. So please, you guys, go to a board certified doctor. This video is going to be extremely long, but watch it. When you go to doctors out the country, if you do not know English and you're going by yourself, I just feel like that is way too risky. I personally wouldn't be able to get work done on someone where me and you don't speak the same language because it's a huge language barrier. If you cannot bring someone with you that knows Spanish, or if you don't know Spanish, I would not risk it. Just because you need to be able to communicate. There's only so much. Yeah, you can use Google Translate, but I'm just speaking on what I would do for safety precautions because to me, safety comes first. Safety will always come first than just walking around with a big butt. I don't care what anybody say. And so just to be very safe, I feel like if you don't know Spanish or no one with you knows Spanish, then try to just stick in the US. I know that some of you guys may not want to hear that because, you know, you want to get snatched, but I'm just speaking from a safety standpoint because I just see so many black women going out there and passing away, not being able to come home to their kids, their family, just their life being cut short. And we just want to go about this in the safest way possible. Tip number 2, and this is just as important as tip number 1. There is only so much that doctors can do. You can go to the top-notch doctor in the world and get a BBL, but if you did not prepare your body, if you are not in the best health as possible, guess what? Something can always go wrong. So the reason why I say this is because you have to take care of yourself. You guys saw my BBL journey and, you know, what it was like. And let me tell you guys, if you have any underlying health conditions, this is not the surgery for you. You need to take care of that underlying health condition before you get a BBL. This is why a lot of surgery clinics require blood work because it's very important. Like, I've just heard from surgery groups and from speaking to people and just from all over the place, there are women out there that are given fake lab results to get a BBL, that are not in the best health condition, but they still pushing to get a BBL, that's getting turned away by doctors, but they're going to find another doctor. And it's like, no, it is not worth it. It's not that serious. So if you really have a health problem and you're thinking about getting a surgery, don't. Because your life is very more important. Like when I went to get my lab results, everything was perfect. Had I had an underlying health condition, I would not have been pushing to get a BBL. When you're in the top, when you are very healthy, that will help that you make it out alive. You know what I'm saying? I even saw this girl said she had sleep apnea, and then she had complications, but she didn't tell her doctor. And it's like, why are you even, like, do not do this. You know what I'm saying? Like, please put your health first. If you are very healthy, then make sure that you continue being healthy up until your surgery. Exercise, take your vitamins, eat healthy. For me, because I was trying to gain weight, yeah, I wasn't eating the healthiest, but I made sure I was taking my vitamins and all of that. So please make sure you guys are doing this, taking care of yourself. About your health for this surgery, because like I said, it's not worth it at all. You want to make sure that you are in the top. You want to make sure that you are as healthy as possible when you are going into this surgery. Smoke, do not drink, do not take drugs. So why when I'm in surgery groups, I see that there are women that's smoking right before their surgery, that's drinking right before their surgery. Like, do you not care about your, like, seriously, a lot of this stuff can be prevented. So do not smoke. Like, if you really cannot go without smoking before your surgery, then maybe postpone your surgery. Maybe the surgery isn't for you, but it's not worth it. Please do not smoke, do not drink, do not take drugs before your surgery. Like, do not do any of that. You guys don't realize that when you're going against doctor's orders, that increases your risk of surgery. Do not eat. I think my surgery place said 12 hours before. I follow instructions. Do not eat. If they're telling you to take vitamins, take the vitamins. If they're saying that, oh, your lab work is not good, I can't take you, take that as a sign. don't go behind their back and try to find a different doctor that's gonna cater to your needs, because you know. So that is what I would do. Me personally, I would not do more than 2 surgeries at a time. I've seen some women do 4 surgeries at a time. And I said, your body is in distress after getting a BBL. Like, your body goes in shock. So doing a BBL is liposuction plus Brazilian butt lift. You're already doing 2 surgeries at once. So to add another big surgery on top of that, I just feel like that's too much on your body. And just to go the safe way, because my doctor that I went to, he doesn't like performing multiple surgeries at once, like a lot, because he's all about safety. And that's the reason why I chose him, is because he promoted safety. And you know, please do not try to do too much surgeries at once. I feel like chin lipo or arm lipo is okay, because that's not really a big surgery. But if you're trying to do BBL plus nose job plus breast implants plus, you guys get what I'm saying, like you're doing these big surgeries, I just feel like it's just too much on your body. So please just try to reschedule to a different time, because like I said, I'm going to keep repeating this the entire video. We are trying to go about this in the safest way possible. You know, you can always go back and get something done if you really want to, but try not to do too much at one time. This goes into my next point. When you guys are recovering, please make sure that you guys have a good recovery team. Because don't get me wrong, a lot of doctors who's like, you're going to come out alive after BBL, you know what I'm saying? But after doing my research, a lot of the women that passed away, some of it could have been prevented had they had a good recovery team. It could have been something as simple as telling someone, hey, you need to go to the ER. Hey, I'm seeing a symptom, and instead of having you laying here, let's bring you to the ER where you can get help faster. Something as simple as that can literally save your life. And this is why it's important. If you choose to go to a recovery home, please go to a good recovery home. Like, yeah, there are lots of Facebook pages, Instagram pages where you'll see like fake reviews, or maybe there are reviews, but you'll see a nice house, you'll see food. But are the people inside a recovery home, are they compassionate? Are they well knowledgeable to look for symptoms? Are they checking up on you as they should? Like, and I know it's very hard to get reviews on recovery homes. If you guys want me to, like, I was thinking about teaming up with, just reaching out to a few different recovery homes, get them to answer some questions that you guys want to know. Then let me know if you guys want me to do that. But very crucial, because right after getting a BBL, the first couple of days, you need someone that's going to be there for you. I've, seen women that said, oh, I'll take care of myself. Oh, I'll be okay. Like, no, you will not be okay, because if you're not feeling well, you're going to need help. You know what I'm saying? So it's very crucial. Unfortunately, there are some, I'm not saying this to scare you, because I'm literally scaring myself by making this video. Not scaring myself, but it's like, there are women that have passed away days after getting a BBL. Not everyone passed away on the table. So that's why it's very important you have a good recovery team. Be with someone that's very knowledgeable. Be with someone that's actually going to check on you. Be with someone that's actually going to be there, and not just there but not physically there. Like, they need to actually be there with you. Look for symptoms. Make sure, check your vitals. If you are a woman that have high blood pressure, check up on that. Some, like, eating the right foods. Like, there's just a lot that you need to take into consideration. So you're gonna need a strong support system. So make sure any symptoms, fainting, fever, and the list goes on, please make sure you guys go to the ER. The last thing you want to do is to not be feeling well, but thinking that you can just ride it out or everything is going to be okay, because you are playing with your life. The faster that you are able to get some help, then the faster of you living will be higher. So please go to the ER. If you guys are, it's better to be safe than sorry. It is way better to be safe than sorry. So if something is off, if you're just not feeling well, I mean, it's one thing to be in pain, but if it's to the point where you're fainting, then yeah, please go to the emergency room. Now, your girl wrote down some red flags and green flags to look out for getting cosmetic procedures done. I do want to say is if your plastic surgery center place doesn't really ask for lab work, and I know that sounds so crazy because you're like probably thinking like, who wouldn't ask for lab work? But you will be surprised if you ask, or if they ask for lab work but they're misplacing it, they're disorganized, they don't really care about your lab work. Because believe it or not, not every surgery center place is really the best, and this is why you do have to do research and try to speak to people that have went to that surgery center place. If other people are having problems with a place, do not go someplace just because the price is good. Flag that I have written on this list: if the surgery center place is too cheap, then you guys, please take that into consideration as to why they're so cheap. And a lot of plastic surgeons, I do want to say this, there are a lot of plastic surgeons that when they're beginning to do BBLs, they start off at a discounted price because they are trying to build up clientele. So I'm not saying that cheap price is not always bad, more so they don't have the popularity yet to be charging $20,000 for BBL, because let's think about it. A lot of the doctors that's charging the high prices is only because they're popular, not necessarily because they're better. Because my doctor that I went to, he's literally like a hidden gem in Miami. He has a good following and he's kind of known, but not really. Like, he's not like super known yet. So popularity don't always mean better. So but let's be real, do not get a surgery that's too cheap now, because that can also be a red flag as to why they're so cheap. Now, which I mentioned in the beginning of the video, if your doctor isn't board certified or they have debts, it's a no for me, and I would not recommend. Because another thing that I noticed when doing my research is anytime a doctor had debts, it was not just once, which is so sad. Because even the other day I stumbled across this doctor that's very well known in, I think, Colombia or DR, one of those states, and people talking about, oh my gosh, he snatched a body. Somebody else said, yeah, if you actually make it out alive. And you know, me just being curious, just because I knew that I was gonna do this video, and I just wanted to be very knowledgeable and do my research, and do my research as to what really goes down when a BBL goes wrong, or what exactly is taking place. Doctor had multiple deaths. So can you believe it? It's never just a one-time thing, and that's why I wouldn't, and my doctor already have a death, I wouldn't risk it and do it again, just because my anxiety, I don't even think my anxiety will allow me to, because I'll be so freaked out. Like, once, you know, an issue happened, this can like kind of not, I was gonna say a lot of doctors know that once a situation like this happened, this may end their career, but no. Surprisingly, a lot of women still go to them. And the sad part is, if a doctor have a death that could have been prevented, or it's because of the doctor why the patient is no longer here, if we stood together and stopped going to them, they'll be out of business. They wouldn't have the opportunity to kill someone else on the table, to do malpractice on another person. You get what I'm saying? So this is why it's very important to care about your life and put yourself first. And it's out here, they have a pattern of people not making it off that table. I just don't think it's worth it, and I will just steer clear. So another one that I have, and this one is honestly very important, if your gut feeling is telling you not to do the surgery, not to go to this doctor. If you're not having a smooth process, and this is actually very important, because there are a lot of women that, you know, have attempted to get a BBL, but things just keep, maybe your hemo wasn't at a good level, your lab works didn't come back out good, you just have an uneasy feeling. If everything just keep going wrong, take this as a sign from God that this surgery is not for you. You know what I'm saying? There's also been women that found out that they had underlying health conditions, and so thank God they didn't go underneath the anesthesia, because we don't know what would happen. But there's just so many things going wrong. Just take it as a sign that maybe this is not for you, because like I said, you want to be in top good health condition. And if first you miss your flight, then they lost your lab work, like, just take it as a sign. If your surgery center place maybe canceled you, so you can't get the surgery, you keep getting cancellations after cancellations, then maybe it's just not for you. This could be God's way of trying to, you know, give you a hint and trying to save your life. As far as for me, my entire experience from the beginning to the end was very smooth. Thank you, God. I did everything on this list that I told you guys. I definitely did to make sure that I had a very safe surgery journey. Thank God I didn't have any problems from beginning to end. Everything was smooth from the minute I contacted the surgery center place to my recovery, to after my recovery. Everything went completely smooth, which I'm so thankful for. I want you guys to have as smooth as a process as possible. A green flag for me is if you try to get this surgery and the clinic turn you away, because you're not in good health, take that as a green flag. You want to know why? Because they care about you. They care about your health. As I already mentioned, I'm going to keep saying this over and over. Do not go and try to find another doctor that will take you, because that can cost you your life. If a surgery center place is turning you away, it's because they care. So that's actually a good flag. What you need to do is go and make sure that your health is in tip-top shape, and then maybe they'll take you back. But that's honestly a good flag. Or if you hear that this surgery center place be turning away people for lab work, or they're very strict, in my opinion, that's a good flag. A green flag, because I don't want to go to someone that's don't really care. They just take it. They're like a chop shop. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's the last thing we need. So that's honestly a green flag. Then that's a green flag as well. With my doctor, you guys know, like, when you're already planning your surgery and you're just ready to get surgery, you're just on your doctor's page all the time. And so you can look on Real Self, you can look on Google, Facebook groups, Instagram, try to talk to people that have went to him, and just try to do as much research on your doctor as possible, because that is very important. I really feel like it's equal. I really feel like having an amazing doctor that you trust and that performs safe BBL plus aftercare is equally as important. So we want to make sure that we are doing both to getting out of this surgery getting the safest surgery as possible. Also, and even for my doctor, he only injects a certain amount of fat at a time, because he really believes in performing safe BBLs. Doing my research, they are coming out with safer ways. There's this doctor in Miami called Dr. Alex Pearl. I actually wanted to go to him before I chose my doctor. I really want to go to him because he is super safe. He has performed, and I find that, you know, a lot of plastic surgeons that own their own surgery clinic, like it's privately owned by a plastic surgeon, I find that they are more safe. Yeah, you're gonna be paying way more for BBL, but it's way safer because they're not taking in, they're not doing 10 BBLs a day, 20 BBLs a day. It's not a chop shop. They care about their patients. You get more of that one-on-one experience. Now, the surgery clinic I went to was not really that. But honestly, I'm not even going to lie. I had a good experience with this doctor in Miami. He has this device where he can, when he's injecting your fat, and this is Dr. Alex Pearl. He does an amazing job. When he's injecting your fat, he has a camera on the canola. He's injecting the fat. There's a camera on it, so he can see how deep he's going. And so this is just to ensure that he's not injecting fat too deep into, he's not injecting fat underneath the muscle. So I feel like this is very important, because like I said, people have passed away because the doctor is injecting the fat way too deep. And so, you know, as time go on, they are coming out with new technology. There are some doctors that do own this device. You know, I heard that my doctor uses it. Does use that. I think I saw it in a Facebook review, a Facebook group. One of the girls that went to him, she made a comment saying that he uses that device to make sure that he is not injecting fat too deep underneath the muscle. And I'm like, my doctor really believes in performing a safe BBL. That is why I chose him. And so I'm just saying this to say, as time go on, doctors are coming out with new technology so the mortality rate for the surgery won't be, you know, high. But at the end of the day, I just want you guys to be safe, and I just really hope that you guys were able to follow every single thing that I stated in this video and make it out of your surgery alive, snatch, great. And thank you guys so much for watching. Please hit that subscribe button. Follow my personal Instagram page at glamdoll_Patrica, and also follow, link it down below. And thank you guys, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next video.